So when I found out that September was Suicide Prevention Month, it really struck a chord deep down into my heart, and I really felt like I needed to share my story in hopes that it might help someone. When I was 18 years old, I went through an extremely deep depression. Thoughts of suicide vamped my mind daily, just continually. That's all I could think about. I was so depressed. All I could think about was checking out. I wanted to kill myself. That's all I could think about was killing myself. My dad had a gun and I knew where it was, and I thought constantly about, how I could sneak away from my parents and I could get it and just end it. I thought about taking bottles of prescription medicines, even over the counter medicine like Tylenol. I thought, if I could just get to the store and get a bottle of Tylenol and just take the whole thing, I'll just go to sleep and I'll never wake up. And I thought about it all the time. I just felt like my life was completely and totally over. I was so overwhelmed and so consumed with darkness that all I could think about was committing suicide. And I remember my mom and my dad would take me to one of my grandparents' houses when they had to go to work because they didn't want to leave me alone. They had taken me to the doctor and he had tried antidepressants and my body rejected all of them. I was allergic to all of these different medications. I had all of these terrible side effects from these antidepressants. I couldn't take them. They had taken me to a psychologist and he couldn't help. I had taken psychology in school and I just kind of felt like I was in a classroom. He would give me something textbook and I would give him something back textbook. And it was kind of like playing this game. And so my parents absolutely refused to leave me alone. They knew that something was not right, and I think that they really, even though they didn't know how much I thought about suicide, I think that they kind of suspected um, that that was going to be the next avenue if they couldn't find me some help. And so they took me to my grandmother's house, my dad's mom, and she started to talk to me about something similar she had gone to, and she begged me to go meet with her pastor. And I just figured it's not going to help, it's not going to do any good, but she insisted that I come and that I meet with this man. And I am telling you, it was the absolute best decision that I could have ever made in my life. When I sat down in that first meeting, I could feel the love oozing out of that man's pores because he was so full of God and he was so full of Jesus that he just had no other choice. He just had to share that love with anybody that would listen, and he shared it with me. And I was so empty and so drained from being depressed and being sad. I was like a sponge and I soaked up every single word that he said when nobody else could reach me, not my grandparents, not my parents, not my closest friends, not the psychologists, not the doctors, when nobody could reach me to the dark place that I had gone. Jesus could reach me. His words could reach me, and they changed my life. They saved my life. From that moment on, I never thought about suicide anymore. The only thing that I could think about was getting to know Jesus better, was getting to know this man that had died for me, this God that had created me with a plan and a purpose. And I wanted to know what that plan and what that purpose was. And so I am encouraging you today, if you are watching this and you are contemplating suicide, please, please seek Jesus first. Please seek a relationship with the Lord. I promise you, He can reach you. I promise you that He can understand what you're going through. I promise you that He will make a difference in your life if you will let Him. There's absolutely nothing in this world, not the loss of a job, a relationship, a spouse, a child, a pet, money. There's absolutely nothing that is worth taking your life for because God gave you the breath that is in your lungs, and He gave it to you with a reason and with a purpose. And if you give Him an opportunity to show you what that reason and that purpose is, He will show you, and it will be the most amazing, blessed life that you could ever even imagine living. It goes beyond your thoughts and beyond your imagination how wonderful it is. God restored everything that I lost, everything that had happened before my depression set. He restored it all and so much more. And He gave me such an amazing life. He gave me a wonderful husband that I've been married to now for over 15 years. He's given me three beautiful, healthy, kind, wonderful children. And He has given me a ministry and a platform that I have been able to go out and I have been able to share this good news with anybody that would listen. And He saved me. He healed me. He healed me. I didn't have to take antidepressants. I didn't have to go see a therapist. The only thing that I needed was Jesus. And I was completely and totally healed from that moment on. I've never had to take a drug. All that I have ever needed was God, His Word, His Son, and His Spirit. And I promise you, if you give Him an opportunity, He will do the same thing for you. I am so glad that I gave my heart to the Lord, and I pray that you will make that same decision and give your heart to the Lord, because there's absolutely nothing worth taking your life over. Nothing. Especially when God is waiting to give you the most wonderful, amazing, beautiful life full of hope and peace and joy and love and happiness. It is the best decision that I ever made, and I am so grateful that I made it. Thank you, and God bless.